On Smith, generally, I really do appreciate your point that there's too much focus on
Yeah,
him right now, and there's a degree of, well, Smith's a 10, go solve everything.
yeah.
So, and today was not the day for a 10, I suspect, in a white jersey, but his general performance?
Well, you certainly can't look at Marcus and say it's poor. I thought the number 9 that started the game, Van Porthley, like he was slow as a month of Sundays, and he was taking an age to get the ball from the ruck to Smith, and that takes away his space. But to even think about 9 and 10 is wrong. Like the 9 was slow. We got to say that he's not international standard. Let me say, in my opinion.
Okay.
So they've got a real problem at 9. But there were so many other problems around the field. The back row were just, as Andrew said, were just wiped off the park. Their scrum was struggling. Their breakdown was struggling. Their kick, they were struggling in the backfield. The kicking game was taken apart. Their defensive system was poor. They were missing tackles. They're getting around them left, right and centre and through them. And what about the 10? Like, let's not blame the young man. There is multiple problems before we get to Smith. You know, let him. I thought he was competent, but he is not even a story in that game for me.
Yes.
It is so many other things in a game of rugby to win at that level. And when you lose by 50, you look around and say, oh, the 10 didn't play well.
Fully accept that point. The story during the week will be, does he keep his place, mind?
I was only just thinking that in my own head. Does Farrell come back in next week? For me, when Farrell and Mitchell came on for that first immediate 10 minutes, there was a difference in England's play. The pace was up, the energy was up, and then it tapered off a little bit. I said before the game that Farrell would always be my starting 15, but as a head coach, you've given a young kid his start. Is it the right thing now to take it back off him again? If you want to really try and develop him, if you want to give him every opportunity to grow, I think you have to start him again next week.
And start him, but the problem is there's structure around him. If you put Smith in island structure, he goes brilliantly because there's structure around the 10. The 10 has options, and we'll see that tomorrow, hopefully, but we've seen it all year with Johnny. But he hasn't got those options. He hasn't got that structure around him. When Mitchell came on, there was certainly a lot more spark. He was getting the ball faster, and Farrell was calling more shots. There's no two ways about that, and it looked better for a couple of minutes.
Yes.
But then it fell apart. So that tells you there's a whole lot of other problems. I think if you threw Marcus Smith out now, I think that would be the worst possible thing you could do to the young man.
And there are no more competitive games until the World Cup after Dublin. So where are you then?